There's a question we rarely ask out loud. Not because it's complicated, but because it's unsettling. What if the universe isn't mysterious because we haven't figured it out yet, but because we never will? What if the problem isn't time, technology, or intelligence, but the human mind itself? What if reality exists beyond the limits of our comprehension? And what if we've been mistaking confidence for understanding this entire time? Humans experience reality through a narrow window, a very narrow one. Our senses were not designed to understand the universe. They were designed to keep us alive. We see only a tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. We hear only specific frequencies. We feel only what is close enough to touch. Everything else is filtered out. Not because it isn't real, but because it isn't useful for our survival. The universe doesn't present itself to us as it truly is. It presents only what matters for survival, and even then imperfectly. This means something uncomfortable. Reality is not built for human understanding. Human understanding is built for survival. We like to believe perception equals reality. But perception lies, not maliciously, but efficiently. Your brain constantly edits the world. It removes details, it fills in gaps, it simplifies complexity. Because clarity is safer than accuracy. This worked well on the savannah, but the universe is not a savannah. When we look at the cosmos, we are not seeing reality. We are seeing a translation, a compressed, human-friendly version of something far larger. And translations always lose meaning. Science feels like a steady march toward truth. But history tells a different story. Every breakthrough replaces certainty with a better uncertainty. Newton explained gravity. Then Einstein showed Newton's view was incomplete. Then quantum mechanics revealed that reality doesn't behave intuitively at all. Dark matter, dark energy, quantum entanglement. The more we learn, the stranger things become. Instead of answers, we uncover deeper layers of not knowing. This raises a dangerous possibility. What if science isn't approaching truth, but just circling it from inside a cage? Everything we know about the universe is built on models. Mathematical approximations. Conceptual frameworks, maps, but the map is not the territory. A flat map can represent the Earth, but it can never be the Earth. Likewise, our theories may describe reality without ever touching its true nature. We assume that better models mean we're getting closer to the truth. But what if all our models are confined by the same cognitive limits? What if we're just perfecting the wrong language? Language shapes what we can think. If a concept has no words, it struggles to exist in the mind. The universe may contain phenomena that cannot be described in human language. Not because they're complex, but because they're fundamentally alien. Dimensions we can't imagine. Forces without analogies. Structures that have no meaning to us. Trying to understand them might be like explaining color to someone born blind. It's not impossible because of intelligence, but because of the very structure of our perception. The multiverse is a great example. It's mathematically plausible, but fundamentally unreachable. If other universes exist beyond our ability to observe them, they can't be tested. They can't be confirmed. They can't be experienced. At that point, knowledge collapses into speculation. Science reaches a philosophical wall. It suggests that not everything real is observable, and not everything observable is understandable. Here's where psychology enters the picture. Humans do not tolerate not knowing very well. We prefer answers that make us feel in control, even if those answers are false. Uncertainty triggers anxiety, and that anxiety demands a resolution. So, the mind does something very subtle. It decides. It decides that reality must be knowable. That with enough time, everything will eventually make sense. Not because it's proven, but because the alternative is just unbearable. This is the hidden decision, the one that happens quietly in the background. We assume the universe must conform to human logic. We assume understanding is inevitable. We assume mystery is temporary, but those are not scientific assumptions. They are psychological ones. They protect our sense of identity. They protect our sense of meaning. They protect the belief that humans matter, that we are at the center of reality. So what if the universe doesn't care about being understood? What if meaning isn't universal, but purely local? What if consciousness itself distorts reality the moment it observes it? In that case, absolute truth becomes unreachable. Not because we failed, but because it was never accessible to begin with. Accepting the unknowable is not a defeat. It's a form of maturity. It means shifting from conquest to curiosity, from certainty to wonder, from answers to better questions. The universe may not be a puzzle to solve, but a presence to encounter. So maybe the greatest mystery isn't out there. Maybe it's right here. Why do humans need certainty so badly that we'd rather believe something false than sit with the unknown? This wasn't ignorance. It wasn't an impulse. It was a decision. Thanks for watching.